Hey, brother. Hope you had a great weekend. Happy Monday. And the topic we're discussing today, it's very simple, but it's very important. It's called It's Cool to Be Nice. What do you mean by it's cool to be nice? What I mean by that is it's very cool to be nice. If you're a nice, decent human being, you're a cool person. And why is that important, you ask? Great question. Well, it's important because that's how you get far in life. You, as a human being, are a social animal. Generally speaking, if you are a nice human being, you will attract other nice human beings. And what does that mean? What does that do? A, it gives you a competitive advantage. Because if you can get on with people, you can have success in life. If you can't, well, God help you. And you will learn the hard way why getting on with people is so important. But you don't be nice to people because you want something out or you want to make your life easy. That's a byproduct. More importantly, it's the standard. It's the standard of how us men should govern each other. How we need to act in this world. Being nice, being kind to people. That's how you set the tone. That's how you change the narrative. That's how you start a cultural phenomenon, by being nice. Don't believe all the nonsense that we see on social media or hear about. Oh, you gotta be a mean guy to get what you want in life. No, maybe there's some instances, but generally speaking, probabilistically speaking, you have to get on with people in order for you to have a satisfactory level of happiness and contentment in your life. Whether that's your professional relationships, whether that's your personal relationship, whether that's romantic relationships, whether that's just getting shit done or asking for help or helping somebody, you have to be able to get on with people. And if you can't, you're going to have a very difficult time. So be nice, right? Often we hear this, right? That kindness is weakness. That's not true. I think kindness shows a level of confidence that you have in yourself. A. B. It also represents that you are someone who understands the other person or understands fellow man, human beings. So you're not afraid to be kind to them because that's the nature of you. That's your nature. And that is a sign of a great grounded leader. And whether you like it, whether you don't like it, we are all leaders. So when does it actually come in handy to be nice? Every single day of your life. Try this. Genuinely try this and tell me if you can commit to this, to doing for the next 30 days, and it does not transform your mindset, transform your perspective of life, change my name. Speak to 5 people daily. And I don't mean be a creep. What I mean by that is when you're going out there, genuinely be more interested in the person, whether you're at the gym, whether you're in the communal room, at your workplace, wherever. Start speaking to people. Speak to people that you would not normally speak to. Genuinely have conversations with them. Be more interested in them than you being more interesting. Find out what they're about. What do they do? Where do they live? Not in a creepy way. And find a common ground. You would be surprised what you find out about people and how certain people will come into your life. Case in point. On the weekend, and why I thought this was so important, right? On the weekend, I was at Morrison's for those of you who are not from the UK, Morrison's is like Publix, like a Walmart. And I was just going in there, and there was this exhibition stall, marketing stall, if you will, for Celsius. And I just went in there, looked interesting. They had this racetrack kind of thing going on. I was like, is this a game? I put myself up there. I'm a competitive guy, what have you. And I started speaking to Alex, the guy who's heading up this marketing thing, right? He saw me wearing a jiu-jitsu t-shirt and he was like, oh, you do jiu-jitsu? I was like, yeah, bro, I do jiu-jitsu. And we just started speaking. And I was like, oh, how long you been doing this? Man, this is such a cool drink, etc. I've been drinking Celsius. And it's just nice that these guys are expanding, etc. So what do you do? What's your role day-to-day life? And I built a genuine connection with the guy. What ended up happening was, not only I won that competition, I got a Ferrari flask, which is pretty cool. But I also engaged him in a way that, oh, are there any ambassador programs? And he put my name forward for that. So who knows? Maybe I'll be a Celsius ambassador, hopefully, inshallah, one day. The moral of the story is, if I hadn't had that conversation with him, if I didn't build that common ground with him, if I didn't ask him questions about his day-to-day role, how much traveling he does, or what's his favorite flavor, maybe an opportunity to build a relationship with him wouldn't have come up. Or just even knowing about there's an ambassador program, or that he's into jiu-jitsu as well and he wants to restart his jiu-jitsu career and he doesn't know good gyms, so I recommended him some good gyms, right? That's the power of being a nice person. But if you think that, oh, it will hinder you by just being nice to people, you're very mistaken. Because often people think of it is from this perspective. Let me just look at my notes. I wrote this down. It's very important, right? That if I'm nice to people, it's going to show that I'm weak. No. If somebody takes advantage of your kindness, that just shows the type of person that is. But that also highlights a flaw in you of not being able to implement boundaries. And that's something that you can do. But it also shows that you are grounded and you're confident in your ability. And when I look back at this, right, it's quite interesting when I look back at this. When I was a overweight teenager in my university times, right, I used to be I was always nice. But I went through a phase of, because I was so insecure, of not making conversations, I'm just putting on this mean mug face, trying to act cool, the Sigma cool, right? But in reality, I probably came across as autistic, no fucking lie. The point of the matter is, like, dude, it was a lot easier for me to just be me. And my default position is, I'm genuinely a nice person. I would like to think so. And I didn't have to put on this pretense, but I did. And I felt like I was inadvertently robbing myself from building relationships, getting to know people on a romantic, on a platonic level. And so many more doors would have opened if I had just been okay with being who I was. But that's how life works. You learn from your experiences. So, when I say it's cool to be nice, it doesn't mean you be naive either. It doesn't mean when you can see the obvious things in life that people aren't responding the way you want them to respond. If you are putting in 100% of the effort or 80% of the effort and this person can't even meet you halfway or does not, better, man. if this person doesn't bounce back your energy or reflect that level of energy or concern that you give them, you cut them out. That's all it is. You never allow people to walk over you, because this is how you got to think about it, right? When you are nice, it shows the level of confidence you have in yourself. And you're being nice for you, because that's the person that you are. So when somebody is taking the mick, i.e. taking advantage of that, you just tell them straight, man, bruv, it ain't going to work out. And you close that chapter. And that is very important that you don't let people think or take your kindness to be your weakness. Especially on a romantic level, or you're getting to know a girl. Because trust me, there is a saying, good guys finish last. And I believe that. But this isn't about that. It's like, be sensible. And that energy of you being kind, nice, if somebody doesn't respect that, you also have agency to take that back, say, oh, cool, no problem. You don't respect it, I'll take it somewhere else. But you got to understand, man, you have to understand this. The real power of being nice, I'm reading this out, right, is people remember you for how you make them feel. And, man, I have been, in my life, I've been in situations, somehow or another, because of how I've treated this person, they've remembered. Whether it's remembering their birthday, whether it's just making sure that they're okay, following up on something, not in a creepy way, I don't want to highlight, but genuinely, like, you okay, bro? What's up? Should we grab coffee? Can I do something for you? And you know, if this person is launching something, just being there for that person. And I learned this lesson from my uncle Zahid, all right? He's a successful CFO, super stud of a person, right? And he taught me this lesson as I was coming up, when I was working as a in management consulting in London. And he goes, true success in life is when somebody leaves your presence and they feel like, man, this person made me feel so important. And I've kind of lived by that rule, or I try to live by that rule every single day. Like, how do you want to be remembered? Do you want to be remembered as that asshole who made people feel rubbish about themselves? Or do you want to be remembered as a person who actually cared? But sometimes you have to be tough. That's where tough love comes in. I don't mean to say that you can't have hard conversations with people, that you have to mask your emotions or how you feel. No. What I'm saying is, when somebody leaves your presence, they feel like, you know what? It was good speaking to this person. My soul feels nourished. And that's what life is about. Trust me when I say this. There have been times in my life where I've managed to get hold of people, opportunities, by the grace of God, that I personally was shocked. No bloody way that this opportunity or these doors I've opened, I managed to be in that room or at that table, all because of how I conduct myself. And am I saying I'm 100% right all the time? No. But I'm telling you, even if you have an 80% success rate, dude, that's better than most people will ever do. So, remember this next time. When you are thinking about oh, how I treat this person, how should I conduct myself? Am I going to be seen as weak? Let me tell you this, as a brother, dude, you will never lose out. God will look after you. If you are genuinely, and I mean genuinely, do it from your heart, that you're going to lead, you're going to interact with people with decency, with respect, and you're genuinely interested in them, bruv, God will look after you. You won't ever have that doubt, whether that's romantically, man, I'm telling you, even romantically, you will be protected. God works in mysterious ways. Doors will open, opportunities will come. All because you decide to live your life in a certain fashion, which is, you're going to be nice. And trust me, when I say trust me, you think women like mean guys? No. They actually like kind people. Your success with women will increase as well, because they understand, oh, this guy's actually a cool person. He's not afraid to show his emotions or genuinely celebrate somebody. And that's attractive, dude. If I personally met a person and I started speaking to them, and I could see in their soul, and it's so obvious, right? This is very nice, by the way. Sparkling burst flavor. Cosmic vibe. Great, get it. But more importantly, when you speak to people and you see somebody in a nice car and they describe that person, oh man, that's an awesome car, man. Hopefully one day I'll get it. And they celebrate people's success. That shows, man, this person's a good person. It's the most basic litmus test. See how people speak about people's success. If they're like, oh, well, I don't know, he was a drug dealer, that's why he's got that Ferrari. Or if they say, man, this guy worked his bum off in order to get to the place where they are. And hopefully, man, I can get inspired by that. If people say that and people respect that and people show up for your success and you show up for people's success like that, brother, you're going to have success on a different level, because you are communicating to the universe, to God, that you like success and you're celebrating people's success. And that is attractive, man. No diddy, but I'm just saying that's attractive. Like, now I know that you're not going to be jealous. So if I do well and you do well, we're going to push each other further. There's not going to be any hostility or competition. You've just shown me what is possible. So I want you, a person like you, in my corner. And guess how you develop that? By genuinely being nice to people. And separately, yeah, before I go, women, bruv, when they see you can be nice, but also have boundaries, and how you treat other people, it's infectious. Trust me, it's infectious. And they will see this and they will see, how will this person be with me? Your success will skyrocket. And that's it, man. That is it. So if you're on the fence, how you should be good, how you should be conducting yourself, start by reframing this in your mind. It's cool to be nice. And just live with that. And like I always say, man, when you decide on a path, be too dumb to quit. And until next time, see you later, bro. Be nice to people, man. People need the reason. Be the reason why somebody believes that good people exist. But also don't be a dumbass. Yeah? Let's go, baby. Let's go win.